Yes, we've won. We won't need a day to rally behind the ones fighting to change the rules. One day, we won't need this day at all. Because one day, this day, will be our everyday. Yes, we've won.
Good afternoon. My name is Guilherme German, and today I'll be talking about how do female athletes suffer from discrimination in sports. My research question is, what is the worst way that women athletes suffer from discrimination in sports? And my three claims are racism, biology, and resources. Many researchers have shown that different ways women have suffered from discrimination, such as shown in the confrontation on the bridge, a College Board stimulus source, is racism. As you can see in the graph to the right by North Holland in the European Economic Review, on the top left it shows the ratings between black and non-black players. The blue line are the non-black players and the black players. The red line is the black players. The y-axis goes from 0 to 1.5, and as you can see, the non-black players being about 0.3 more than the black players. And on the bottom right, you can see the log wages between the black and non-black players. In this scale, it goes from 1 to 6, and there's about 1 difference between them. As Ashla Hela, a soccer player, has said, at an international and an elite level, sports like taekwondo and rugby allow the headscarf to be worn during competitive matches. And for the world game, for the universal language that is football, to ban the headscarf, it does not make sense. It is just outright discrimination. Women have also had worse equipment based on their race. As you can see in this chart by Armstrong, Martin, and Felix Richer, there was a survey to see what each country think of racism. The purple line is people that think that social media platforms need to do more about the racial abuse of players. And the light purple is people that think that clubs and players should boycott social media over racism. As you can see in these 5 countries, Spain, United Kingdom, Germany, France, and Italy, they all believe that social media do not do enough to support players that suffer from racism. Biology has been a huge reason to why women have not participated in sports for several years, being unexcused that they wouldn't be allowed to participate in the Olympics for being too dangerous and it could harm their reproductive organs. But is that really a reason? The worst type of discrimination is the lack of resources that women get, as you can see on the picture to the right. This is a gym NCAA provided to the female players and men players. The right is a female gym where there's only a rack of weights and a table, and to the right is a male gym where you have all those resources. That picture sparked up a lot of players to say something, like Sarah Fella, a football player, said, "This is ridiculous. The difference in weight rooms and now this, female athletes work just as hard, if not harder, to get some recognition in the world of sports." Things like this continue to show a clear lack of equality for female players. Do better. The same with Venus Williams, Jay Bilas, and Kari, and many more. In conclusion, the worst type of discrimination that women have suffered from is not having the resources that men have. Because even working as hard as they can, without the proper equipment and supplies, they will never be able to achieve something to prove to the world that they're just as good, or maybe even better than men. Thank you.
All right, 2 questions for you. First up, how valid and reliable were the sources that you used, and how do you know they were?
My sources were valid and reliable because they were peer-reviewed sources, from studies done in colleges, and they're mostly from EBSCO, which is an AP College Board website used to get sources.
Okay. And if you had more time, what additional research would you conduct on this issue?
If I had more time, I would have done more research in the reasons why women were not allowed to participate in the Olympics due to their biology, as I did not have enough information on that.